Hey, my name is Stash. Just putting together this quick training on how to close more deals from your leads and walkthroughs and estimates. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here that without like proper training and sales acumen can be pretty hard to overcome. So I just want to go through it. For this one, we're going to cover price objections. I'm pretty sure this is where most of you guys kind of fall short. You either give a price and then they come back and say they found somebody cheaper and they already had gone with them, or you just really don't know what happens and why you didn't get that sale. So I'm going to just go over a bunch of different objections here. We'll start with we need three estimates, and everything here is basically what you would say, and then here's why. Okay, so client comes back to you. You guys give a $12,000 estimate, let's say, for a patio or driveway or roof or whatever, whatever company this is for. They say we need three estimates. Okay, we want to acknowledge, respond, and pivot to pretty much everything that a customer could say to us. So I understand you feel the need to get three other bids. Is there any other reason why you wouldn't feel comfortable choosing your company name for this project? Yes is going to uncover an objection that you didn't know about that needs to be handled. Otherwise, that deal is not closing. No is going to be a soft anchor that you are the right choice, and the customer is basically telling themselves. Okay, great. So once you get those three other bids and you sit them all side by side, what criteria are you going to use to make that final decision? What this does is to find out exactly what they would choose their contractor based on. And you can use this information when putting together your final estimate or proposal. If they say one thing is more important to them than another, there's always going to be something that matters more than price to somebody. You're going to be able to find that out by asking these questions to try and figure out exactly what they would decide upon. So some of them, are going to say the best value. So you could say, yeah, the best value, correct? So if within 7 to 10 days you find out our value met your expectations, could you see yourself being a customer of, again, your company name? Yes, it's a soft anchor. No, find out. Why not? How do you mean by that? Could you unwrap that a little bit for me? Every step of the way here, we want to be asking how and why questions to uncover and dig deeper into their responses. If it's not a yes, even if they hesitate when they say yes, they say, yeah. Well, David, I noticed a little bit of hesitation when you said yes there. Would you mind, would you mind unwrapping that for me so we can see what's going on, right? Because we don't want them to lie to us either. We want to make sure that we understand what they're saying. If they say yes, awesome. I'll tell you that, you'll always find somebody to do the project cheaper, but I'm confident you will never find somebody that can do it cheaper and still do it right. That part's important. We're willing to put our money where our mouth is, though, with our price assurance guarantee. This is something you guys can choose to do or not, but I think it's really powerful because this way, if you're the first person to give the estimate or the last, and you say this to them, they're not just going to take your price and pick somebody else, right? You're at least going to have one more step in which you can try to sell them. Let's say your price is 10,000, they get somebody else offering the exact same thing as you, apples to apples, same insurance options, whatnot, for 9,500. You're probably going to still take that job for 9,500, right? Or even 9,400. But what happens is you're not getting the chance to lower your price to meet theirs, and this kind of gives you that extra chance. That that customer is going to call you back. Hey, I found ABC Remodeling who's going to do it for $500 cheaper. Will you guys match that? That's what this is here for. So the price assurance guarantee basically states that if you can find somebody or another company who is apples to apples with materials installed professionally with a warranty and are accredited, insured, and bonded, that can offer this to you for less than what I'm showing here, if you bring that to me in writing, then we will refund you the difference plus give you an additional $100 for the time it took you to find this company. David, isn't that the peace of mind you were looking for when you first called? your company name, right? This is all just to prove that you are the only option. Sometimes they don't even bother calling around because offering this type of thing prevents the objection before it happens. We need 3 estimates, part 2, after the price assurance guarantee. So remind them of the price assurance guarantee. If we feel strongly enough to put that in writing, don't you feel it would be almost impossible to find a company that would do that? Yes, no, why? So at the end of the day, if you really think we're the right company, what would you be looking for in another company that you haven't already found in us? This is another opportunity for the homeowner or business owner to tell you why they don't want to go with your service, right? Maybe you missed something along the way that's important to them. Nothing, I guess. Or no, you guys, we want to go with you guys. Great. But if they say, well, we need XYZ, or I'm just not sure, we want to ask more questions and just kind of like unravel that and dig and dig and dig. If they do say nothing, I guess, or, we want to go with you guys. So wouldn't you agree it's just easier to get this done now then and, not have to worry about this any longer than you have to? Like, your time's valuable, my time's valuable. Like, let's just get this thing done, right? And you can kind of just push them along there. All right, your price is too much. We get this all the time. We're not the cheapest on the market, but it's because we provide an excellent service. So I'm sure probably the same for you guys. You can let me know. When a customer says your price is too much, usually it's a trust objection, but we want to clarify. David says, your price is too much. How do you mean that, David? Can you unwrap that for me? And just let them talk. Let's clarify, right? There's so many reasons behind why they might tell you that the cost is too high. You first need to find out what that actually means to them. It could just be timing. Maybe they're waiting for a tax return or expecting a windfall of money from something. In some cases, though, it really doesn't have anything to do with price at all. Maybe we missed something. Maybe they just don't like you, right? And that's something that's hard to overcome. But there's different kind of questions we can ask here. And we want to start with just, how do you mean that? They say your price is too much. Too much compared to what, right? We want to get some solid, like we call it ammunition in sales, some solid ammunition to have to use on them later. So if you guys offer monthly payments, financing, anything like that, we can't afford that monthly payment. I understand that, but everything else you guys love, is this, you 100% want to move forward with it otherwise? Yes, green light, move forward. No, find out what they don't love about it, okay? This is a similar theme. Whenever there's hesitation or, blowback or whatnot, we want to make sure we're clarifying and figuring out exactly, this is the price objection, this is the payment objection, but we got to hone in on it because here's where the real problem is that we need to overcome, right? So they say yes. Okay, so if you can't afford, let's just say $400 a month, whatever the payment is, what could you afford? So I'm not taking away from family pizza night or ham off your sandwiches. You can replace this with anything. Just a little bit of humor is good in this. Cheese off your pizza, whatever. You can be creative. If they state a lower payment that you can offer, okay, I see. So if that was the payment, you would have moved forward with us while I was there? Yes. Okay. Let me make a call and see what I can do. It's a long shot, but it's always worth a try, right? And you're kind of moving them along. You can offer this, or you think you might be able to, and you're doing them a favor by offering this now. If they state a lower payment that you can't offer, it's a bit of a tougher objection. So you can say, oh wow, I'm sure you and I both know that wouldn't be a reasonable offer for the product and options you chose. If that's all you can afford, let's take another look at the scope of the work, right? So this offers wiggle room in a different area. Maybe they want the premium options with concrete. Maybe they're doing stamped, with roofing. Maybe they want a metal roof or whatnot. There's lots of different wiggle room in different industries. What we need to do is figure out exactly what they can afford and then build something that they can afford, right? So this is going to take a lot of communication. We need to lower the amount of work to fit their budget. What's important is basically to get a clear number that they can afford here. That way, when we come back and we pitch them a $7,000 offer instead of a $15,000 offer, there's no reason that they can say this again because David, you already told me that you can afford 7,000 or you can afford $250 a month, right? Because then it's a different objection that you're handling. It's not actually price. So make sure during this process you're communicating with the customer on why this is the best option inside their price range. Talk about the materials. You guys are the experts on this. Just make sure you're very clear and communicative. Be creative. People buy from people they like and that they trust. It's out of our budget. Use if the monthly payment option didn't work. Again, if you guys offer this. If you don't offer financing, you should. Because you can get way more deals closed. Customers don't always have the money up front, but a monthly payment is usually affordable for most people. I totally understand that. I also like to try and stick to my budget, so we want to relate with them. But when I find something I love that solves a problem or makes my life easier or better, I buy it, right? We're relating with them with our own experiences. We work hard for our money to buy things we deserve, and you deserve this. Let's get this done for you, right? Let's make this happen. Budget-focused people usually care about investments as well. So if you're doing something that adds $50,000 to the valuation of their home and it costs them $15,000, you can focus on that. Remind them that we budget differently for investments than how we would budget for groceries or a night out with the family or friends. This is just more than we can afford right now. Okay, no problem. Is it the monthly payment or the down payment that's giving you the problem? If they pick one, get their commitment on what they could afford and then go into the agreement. Okay? Every one of these, and you're going to see this theme throughout this entire thing, we're clarifying exactly what they mean when they say something, right? Like what is it here? Is it here or here that you're struggling, right? Is it the monthly payment or the down payment? Then we'll take whichever one it is and then we'll hone in on what the actual problem is. Okay. If they pick one, get their commitment on what they could afford, then go into the agreement. Push them to stay in the same area though of the monthly or down payment, just because it's easier to modify those a little bit without affecting the total price of the job. If they stick to the fact that it's the total price, we'll move on to that objection next in the next slide. No, it's just the total price. I see. So before I came out today, how much did you think this project would cost? We want to get a solid figure here. For example, the customer could say, well, I thought it would cost $12,000 to get this patio installed or driveway or whatever. Oh, wow. So after I came out and explained all the new updated features and top of the line materials and the warranty that we offer, and you want to be specific to whatever job you're doing and industry you're in, make sure you go in detail with all the differences and really value stack here. What number are you at now? Most likely they'll give you a raised number. So for example, with all that, I think it would cost like $14,000. Oh, okay, great. Thank you for seeing the value in our, again, specific service that you guys are offering. So we're only, and we want to see the difference in valuation from the second number apart. So for example, maybe you guys are charged $16,000 and they say $12,000. We value stack, and then they say, well, I guess it's worth $14,000. Oh, great, thanks. Thanks you for seeing the value, in our concrete driveway services. So we're only $2,000 apart. How long would it take you to come up with the rest of that money? The key here is just to find out what they thought this would cost and then step them up to your investment level, right? They may not come up all the way to your level, so get them past the remainder by showing them you can help with the rest without discounting. Usually this involves adding on things, right? And that's what we call the value stacking, and not necessarily things that cost more money, just really showing them that the value is there. This also does help to know that, hey, maybe you guys would do this job for $14,000. We don't want a discount, but maybe you'll do it for $15,000. Maybe you do have that wiggle room. Now you know exactly where that number is, and before you move on, from this part. So if they say $14,000, it's like, well, okay, David, if we could do that for $14,000 today, would you move forward with this? And just get that commitment, get that tie down. Because the thing that we don't want to do is give them a number now and have them say the same thing, right? We got this ammo, oh, well, I think it's worth 14,000. Okay, let's use it. And again, I'm not saying you have to come down to your price, but some industries are flexible. Your competitor is cheaper. I love this one. We get it all the time. Yes, some people charge $400 a month for SEO and Google ads and Facebook ads. And guess what? They suck. Here's the thing, though. With homeowners, we want to say, I agree with that. You can always find someone cheaper. Let me ask you this. If we were both the same price, who would you choose? The goal here is to get them to sell themselves on your company and your services. So if they say your company, we'll move to the below. If they say the competitor's name, right, whatever it is, why, right? Like what? If we're the same price, you would choose them. We want to know what reason that was to see if we have wiggle room to change their mindset. So what did I miss in your proposal? Really dig deep here, ask a lot of questions to figure out what exactly the stumbling point is. If they say us, your company, wow, thank you. Do you mind if I ask why? And then just let them talk about why you're better and, allow them to sell yourselves. They might say, well, I love that you guys have that XYZ insurance. And I love how you told me it was going to only take 5 days to do. And you had the stamp options that, this guy didn't have. And like, we really like those and we like the price point or whatnot. We just want them to talk about why we're better, right? Because it's a lot more effective coming from their mouth than ours. So let them talk for a bit, and then you can say, oh, wow, thank you for that. Is there any other reason or why else? And then just let them give you, the last couple of reasons. They're building the value in the sale for you. Love it. So and here's where being a good listener is important. You want to repeat everything they just said to you back to them. So all of these reasons here that they gave you, we're going to say, love it. So with the reasons, with the stamps and with the insurance and with the warranty and, you like me as a person, you love our reviews, you've seen pictures before and after and you love them, you like that you found us on the first page of Google, whatever. We want to repeat them all back to them. Then you'll say, don't you see the extra, let's use $2,000 as an example. Don't you see the extra $2,000? Love it. So with all of those options, don't you see the extra $2,000 there? And then just wait and let them respond. So much of sales is asking questions and getting answers. Too often that, contractors and salespeople in general don't have the nuances enough to just know to ask a question, learn from it, and then answer. Okay? We don't just give them a price and that's it, right? Here's your price. And I'm not saying anybody does this. I know people who do it, but here's your, we're not going to just say, here's your price and let's follow up next Friday. No, if we're giving you a price, we need to have a handshake, right? We need to figure out, and if we don't have a handshake, we need to figure out why we don't have a handshake to know what we can change, if it's in our power to change it, and if it's not, if there's something else that we're flexible on. Sometimes you're not going to go lower than 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. But you can do something extra. You can give them a 3-year warranty instead of a 1-year warranty, right? You can give them a 5-year warranty, give them a 10-year. Some people do lifetime. Depends on the service, the product. There are so many creative ways that we can value stack, but we have to know why, right? Why they're not selling. Thanks for watching this. On the next one, we're gonna cover. I need to talk to my dad, my uncle. I need to consult my dog. I need to think about it. All of these other objections that are at the end of the day smoke screens. So stay tuned.